What is going on, everybody? Welcome to or back to Ryder's Record Collection. My name is Carl. In this video, I'm not going to talk vinyl. I'm going to talk something a little different. A little bit of a backstory. It's a Sunday, beautiful Sunday. Weather's a cool, crisp 70-something degrees, 73 degrees here in South Florida. So yesterday, went to my parents' house and like, hey guys, I'm going to show up. I'm going to bring some friends. I'm going to have a bunch of food. Invite some of your friends. We're going to cook. We're going to grill. It's going to be fun. So I proceeded to do that yesterday, Sunday afternoon. But that prompted this video, and my dad, well, record collector, as you guys know. Before I got into records, I've always loved history. I love everything about just old books, old history. I've read Herman Melville, Moby Dick. I've read all 14 original Ian Fleming James Bond novels. I'm a sucker for old stuff. I love it. I've got a World War II era Army helmet sitting in my living room. So my parents and my family know that. My dad, when I went over there yesterday, he's like, hey, I got something for you. He got me 2 records, Jesus Christ Superstar in Chicago, live at Carnegie Hall, which I'll show in my next recent arrivals, but he also got me this. This is in August 1980 Playboy, and this prompted this whole video. This is going to be my magazine collection, so without any further ado, I'll show you my magazines. Like I said, I'm a huge sucker for history, so this, coming out in 1980, I'm not going to show you guys the centerfold, but just the ads in itself is awesome. The music section here talks about The Clash and Elvis Costello. They got an ad for a turntable. Good old cigarettes and alcohol being sold through Playboy, and this is Ronald Reagan is the cover story on this. Not sure you can see that. And Bo is the centerfold. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you my magazine collection. This is what prompted this video. So love old pictures, love old stuff like that. And anytime I see a cool magazine that I'm at all interested in, I go ahead and pick it up. This is one on Jim Morrison. I'm not sure, this Music Spotlight Collector's Edition, 50 years later, Jim Morrison. And I love just photos like that, specifically of bands that I really love. There's Jim and Pam. Just great stuff. You know, just the Doors, doing the Doors. And so, Jim Morrison. Again, if I could go back in time, I would be born in 1945 to be, 20 years old in 1965, to go through the 60s. I know it wasn't all, hippies and grass and fun, but I do love the 60s. So this is a Time magazine that I have of Time images of the 60s, the images that define the decade. Just a bunch of cool Andy Warhol. The glare's kind of bad there, but JFK, Muhammad Ali, just fantastic stuff. Nixon. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Nixon was the president in the 60s, and just crazy stuff with Vietnam and whatnot. So, Time, images of the 60s. To continue that 60s vibe, I've got a lot of Rolling Stone magazines. Whenever Rolling Stone puts out a limited edition special magazine, I go ahead and pick that up. So this is Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, 70 Greatest Dylan Songs, featuring Bono, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Chris Martin, Jackson Browne, and more. It's a whole big old deep dive on Bob Dylan. Actually, that's funny, this Big Boy. I didn't realize Big Boy had an ad in this. I'm not sure when this is from, but definitely several years old. Not the best Rolling Stone that I have in this collection, but you'll see some more. This is Spin 25th anniversary, 100 greatest music, or 100 greatest moments that rocked the world, and this is just number 19 is Bono becomes rock's face of philanthropy. Next to a good old cigarette ad. Gotta love early, what was this? 2010 I bought this. I remember buying this when I was a young kid. Like I said, I've always been into just pictures and art, and specifically music. I've always loved all of the stuff that I have on vinyl long before I've ever owned it on vinyl. So, all these magazines, especially this one that I bought, the Beatles, Rolling Stone, they all really kind of inspired me to get further into this vinyl collection, or get into it in the beginning. But just another cool deep dive on the Beatles. Beautiful beautiful pictures. Just, I mean, you gotta love the Beatles. You can't not love the Beatles. But just cool magazine. This has their 100 greatest songs. So this was a nice deep dive, and continuing into my deep dive with old music. Rolling Stones, Life magazine. Rest in peace, Charlie Watts. That's crazy. But this one I've had for a while. This one's not in great shape. Definitely been shoved into a couple of bags, and just cool old photos. I'm a sucker for these old photos, especially of just these iconic bands that are still around and touring, 70-something years old. It's wild. Look at how young Keith Richards is, or Mick Jagger. Sorry. All right, so keep it going. There was a great generation that fought in this war, and this is life. Victory in the Pacific World War II. Phenomenal history lesson, just learning about this war and why we got involved in it. And to whoever might have been involved in it that watches this video, I salute you, and great generation. Horrific things happened in this war. Big fan of history, and this war is a big lesson I think that we should have all taken something away from, and makes us realize how lucky we are to be Americans, if you are an American, you're watching this. But this is a lifetime Victory in the Pacific, history of World War II. Bunch of just crazy photos of Russian leader Stalin. Winston Churchill right there, smoking a big old cigar. That is the only, like, not hippie music related magazine that I have, but we're going to get back into the music right now. And this is Rolling Stone, the 90s. Got a good old Marilyn Manson there on the cover. Bunch of just 90s albums, deep dive into, Nirvana. Cool old picture, Kurt. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Hole. And just like I said, Marilyn Manson. And like I said, I'm a sucker for the artwork itself. Here's another one. But just all this artwork and stuff, it's great. This next one, I'm not going to show you anything from the inside. This is another Playboy that I have. I don't know where I got that. To be totally honest with you, that's the only magazine that showed up, and I'm like, oh, cool. That other Playboy my dad gave to me. But as I mentioned previously in this video, wish I grew up in the 60s. I wish I was like 25 in 1965, because then I would have been 28 in 1968. And I love everything about the 60s. This is Time, 40th anniversary, 1968. I bought this in like 2002. Bought this in 2008. And like I said, long before I really collected records, I've always been a fan of just pictures and artwork, illustrations and stuff from the 60s. So cool magazine. And then to follow that, I've got 2 editions of the same magazine, and that is 1969 by Time magazine. This is the 40th anniversary edition, so this is the original one. The other one's the 50th anniversary. But again, just killer photos of Woodstock, talking about everything that happened in that year, and just, beautiful stuff, beautiful old pictures. Easy Rider, have the soundtrack. Getting into these last ones, this is all just music specific. Some of these, like I said, I've had for quite a bit of time. But this is Rolling Stone, 100 Greatest Guitarists of All Time. Jimi Hendrix is on the cover. Got a whole bunch of big old names on the back cover. But what do they put as number 1? Jack White here, featured right up front. Number 1, Jimi Hendrix. So, greatest guitarist of all time. But here you got number 9, Duane Allman. Prince, number 33. Just cool old pictures of just these, again, I'm a sucker. These are all, to me, what I consider coffee table books. So I'm a sucker for cool magazines. Every time I go to the grocery store, if it sucks me in, it sucks me in. Here's another one, Bob Marley. This is his 50 greatest songs, deep old dive on Bob Marley. Just all about him and the reggae that he made, him and Rita. Just fantastic music, original, just for these guys that I really enjoy. I'm a huge fan of all these photos that, this is just, to me, it's a good supplement to the vinyl itself. You can really enjoy the music. But then you get these photos and you can really, really, really enjoy these photos. And again, these last three are all band specific. This next one's going to be the Grateful Dead Rolling Stone Special Collector's Edition, The Ultimate Guide to the Grateful Dead. And it's just, to listen to American Beauty on vinyl and to flip through this and just see pictures of these guys doing their thing, honing their craft in their time, and then up to, you know, subsequent deep dives where they're much older. It's pretty cool. Last one's one I got a duplicate of. I bought this because I didn't realize that I had this. This is the repress of this particular magazine, but this is Rolling Stone Collector's Edition Led Zeppelin. Deep dive on Zeppelin, and I'm a huge Zeppelin fan. And again, like I said, great supplement to all these albums is just these fantastic photos of the band. And last but certainly not least is the last magazine that I have in this collection, and this is going to be Pink Floyd Collector's Edition Rolling Stone. Big old deep dive. I flipped through this album earlier. There's a great picture of, well, there's Sid, but there's a great picture of Sid Barrett in here, just early out of, you know, stuff you don't normally see. And then it's, like I said, it's crazy to see these guys get old and grow up with, you know, for me, grow up with them. But that is my magazine collection. Like I said, not really a record-related video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I've been collecting things since I was a kid, and records are a big thing that I've been doing for the last 10, 15 years. Magazines have always been something I've sort of done on the side. So if you like this video, please throw it a like. If you like the channel, please consider subscribing. If you've got any cool magazines that you want to share, please comment below. And until the next time, have some fun, spin some wax, enjoy some magazines. I'm Carl. This is Ryder's Record Collection. Until the next time, cheers.